But I'll just start recording. If we say anything sensitive, I'll cut it out later. How's my audio quality?
Yeah, good, good.
Do I need my mic?
Your mic is better, but it's like it's not that crazy.
Okay, then. Well, you remember I had the DJI mic, right? So look at that.
Yeah.
This is a 3D printed microphone holder. So I just put the mic in and boom.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's why you can use for street interview. You can use this to knock people in the face and get the reaction.
True, true. Bro, we've got so much to speak about. I swear it's been like 3 weeks or something.
3, yeah, feels like a long time. But before that, let me share my screen. So, what's your record? So tell me, say it. How many minutes did you finish your for skincare?
Bro, I don't want to say my times are so bad. I'm not a good runner. I'm so bad.
You're
I did it. I did it in an hour 29.
an hour 29. The median is 83, and that's for the normal population. However, if you sort it out by male and 27, the median is 70 minutes.
Dude, that is not correct. That is not no, that is retarded. Dude, oh, that is 100% wrong. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. The average male 27-year-old could not run a 5-minute 14K. That is like that's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, probably that's the competing athletes data because they don't
Yeah,
they don't track normal people.
of runners, I would maybe, yeah. If like someone classified themselves as a runner, for sure.
Okay.
That so I'm in the 10th percentile worst runner ever. And I've been training so hard.
The fucking hilarious. Competing with those black dudes from Ethiopia or somewhere. Yeah, Africa.
Bro, I don't know what data pool ChatGPT is pulling that shit from, but that
Oh,
yeah.
very cool fact. Did you know that these best marathon runners, they're from the country with a high altitude? Are you aware of that?
Okay. No, I didn't. I thought it was Kenyan to the best runners.
Kenya. Let me check Kenya altitude. I bet you it's high.
Are you at home?
Yeah.
No.
Do you recognize this place?
Yeah, I swear I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's my dad's place. You can see the wooden furniture, like very Chinese style, right?
Bro, we've got so much to catch up on. Like, I need a life update from you. You've just done your massive
Yeah, I have
run
so much, so much. But first, why Asians have squinty eyes?
back from the sun.
Because the atomic bomb was pretty bright.
Oh, bro.
So I have a really dope quote. I'm gonna hit you. Are you ready for it?
Okay, I'm ready.
Give me like a punch in the heart. What you're not changing, you're choosing.
I've seen this quote fucking 1,000 times on Instagram. Swear it's
So good, bro.
it was good the first time I heard it, but that is like the 1,000th time I've heard it.
All right. So your IG journey, quick update. Tell me what happened.
Um, I don't even know what it was when we were last on here. Um, bro, I've got a lot. I could ramble on this shit for ages. I think I've worked out the business model I want to pursue.
Really?
I think the path has become a lot more illuminated that I've been posting. I have some interesting takeaways in terms of status, girls, like all of that kind of thing. Um, but I want to let's do your I want to hear your life update first.
Yeah. But by the way, every single reel you post, every single story, I watch them all. I never miss.
My guy, my guy. Some of them, the worst thing about committing to one a day uploads is sometimes, and this is like a muscle. Everyone feels this. It's like even that I posted like 100 days in a row or whatever it is now. I still sometimes am not happy with the quality, but it's like I don't have anything else to post, and
Yeah.
I committed to posting one time per day, and I cringe at what I'm uploading. But I'm like, I just got to get the rep in. Like if I don't get
Right.
the rep in, I'm not going to improve. And
Uh,
the good news is that gets less and less. So like everyone overthinks when they post something on their story or when they post a picture or content. Everyone's like, what will people think of this? The good news is the more you like post and post and post, the less strong that becomes. And the less you give a fuck, but you still feel it's like approaching girls. It's like the fear never goes away, but you just get used to it and like know how to move
Desensitized.
past it. But it's like
Yeah.
there's always gonna be that bit of like it's not socially normal to do it. Yeah, approaching girls is a great analogy to put it as.
Yeah.
That's why I put up the story the other day that was, can you remember a single reel you watched? Yes. Can you remember a single story?
Yeah.
Because I think that's a great way to, because so many people have, even in person, bro, like people at the gym, people I've met here, they're asking me like, oh, I've been wanting to grow a personal brand for ages. Like I want to grow my following, blah, blah, blah. But no one posts. Like
So true.
literally no
So
one
true.
posts because they so overthink and they're so scared of social judgment. And
Yeah.
dude, I 100% get it. Like, I can relate to that more than anyone else. But yeah, the frame of can you remember a single piece of content you watched yesterday? I can't. I literally cannot remember. And I watched a ton of reels yesterday. I watched a ton of stories. I cannot remember a single one. So it's like, why are you overthinking when everyone will forget about it within 24 hours? It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
There's this YouTuber called Shannon Lester. I used to watch at my adolescence years, and she always said that if you knew how less others care about you, you wouldn't mind so much.
Dude, that is like the key to living your best life. But here's the thing,
Good.
everyone can hear that, but it's so hard to internalize. And when you internalize it, you still haven't really internalized it. You still overestimate so much what other people are thinking of you. It's like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it would be very gut wrenching for your ego if you truly, truly, truly understood how little even the people you love, even your parents, even the like people closest to you, your best friends, if you truly realize how little care goes towards whatever you're
Also
doing
true.
online or what you're posting, I think it would be a big hit to the ego. And you can take it that way, or you can take it that you're free to do whatever you want because no one gives a fuck and no one will remember. And I think the fastest, most direct way to get what you want out of life is not giving a fuck about what other
That's
people.
so
It's bro, it's the
we
fastest way to be cool. It's the fastest way to grow a following. It's the fastest way to make money. It's the fastest way to make girls. You just have to not give a single fuck about what anyone else thinks. If you can do that, which is it's so easy to say but so hard to do, it's like the most direct path there.
we all know the guy, or even were was them at one stage of our lives. You know, at the party, there's always a guy holding his beer cup in front of his chest and looking left and right, up and down, or the fat guy who just refused to take off his shirt at the swimming pool.
Yes, bro.
We all know them, and they're just too concerned. Have them just l- give it up, and just live free and really enjoy themselves. People will love them for that.
Bro, what I'm gonna glaze you, and I glaze you every podcast, but it's fitting. One of the most magnetic qualities that you have, and the specific memory comes up. It was like the second hostel we stayed at on the Hajin Loop, where you just grabbed the karaoke mic. And Josh turned to me and said, "What is Eugene doing?" And just and you just started, bro, you just started belting out karaoke and going up to like the girls' table and every group and putting the microphone in their face and making them sing. And you turned like a pretty dead atmosphere. And then everyone got up and started dancing and singing. And it was like, you had to not give a fuck about what anyone else thought. And it like made this like party atmosphere out of nowhere. And no one else could have done that. And that's such a rare quality that I admire in you, bro, because that is quintessential not giving a fuck about what people think and like something good coming from it. That's such a good memory in my mind.
Well, that was such an insignificant moment in my life that I don't even remember anymore. Had you not bring it up.
Isn't that crazy, bro? Because like that was a significant moment for me. Like just
Yeah.
I think I have a video on my phone. I think you grabbed my phone and filmed yourself and then filmed everyone like as they were singing or something. I have it somewhere.
I you think
And you weren't drunk. You didn't drink anything. You weren't under the influence. You just did that stone cold sober.
good. I always had a good time myself. I always have a good time myself, and that becomes what's that word? Affectionate, contagious, or something like that.
Yeah, contagious, like magnetic.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, now that is the norm for me. I only remember more through the threshold moments for me now.
Yeah, yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
I don't really get nervous when I approach girl, but however, I do get nervous if she's with her parents, which I've did many times already, because simply just because of the fact I didn't get enough reps in.
Bro, something I'm rereading this book. Have you read this?
Okay,
You definitely have
of
read.
course, of course. I read it when I was 16.
Bro, it just say I've read it many times in different stages of my life, and
Same. I read it twice. I got a different things out of it, bro.
Completely different takeaways, right?
Yes, yes.
The big takeaway on learning this time is, and like I always kind of knew it, but I don't know why it's sticking out to me so much, is that the biggest turn on for a girl is being desired by someone. Whereas I feel like it's almost opposite for men, because if a girl was too into me, I would pull away and be like, what the hell? Like, that's kind of unattractive. Whereas the act of being wanted for a girl is extremely attractive. And another point he says is, if there's one shortcut to like being good with women, it's being physical early. It's like doing what you want and apologizing later, which sounds kind of rapey, but it's
Yeah, that is
he,
so
he
true.
he explains it a lot better. But like just being more physically dominant and forward is the fastest.
That's so true. I always say just kiss her and apologize later.
Exactly. Yeah.
You never get
What
hurt.
do You'd rather have tried to kiss her and get rejected than being a timid pussy and
Yeah,
not having done it and getting rejected.
yeah, yeah. So, uh, he- regarding to your IG, I think one insight I have is that we will be more connected and closer than ever. So there's this concept called the Earth is a village in Chinese because how close everyone is. So me and the king and any streamer, they can reach out to each other in seconds. And I remember I was in Turkey. She was laughing at a TikTok meme completely in Chinese, which is crazy. And I asked her about wait, how do you know this? This is pure Chinese stuff. She said, if this melody is a song that rings in the classroom, everyone will laugh. That's how viral things
Yeah,
get.
which is crazy. Bro, you gotta start building an Instagram. It's like we both had the same like ideas behind it.
Mhm.
Um, and dude, they just keep getting proved at a higher and higher level. The net on the networking front, the Bugatti CEO followed me. The
Yeah, what's up with that? What's the story?
I don't know. He randomly followed me a few weeks ago, and then I got a DM from a guy and said, "How do you know this?" His name's Mate Rimac. Yeah. Rip. He's like, "How do you know this guy? That's insane." And I was like, "Who the fuck?" Like, I didn't know who it was. And then I clicked that was seeing he has 500,000 followers, and he was following me, and I was like, and then I looked him up, and I was like, "Damn, he's like a billionaire, one of the richest creations ever, CEO of Bugatti, CEO of Rimac, which they've like combined companies now." And I followed him back, and I didn't message him or anything because like I don't like, what am I gonna message him? Thanks for the follow. But like another
Uh,
so what people I saw who started his personal brand is this guy called, you wouldn't know him because it's super like fitness niche. His name is Alfie Gets Hard. Do you know that Instagram account?
Elfie.
Alfie Gets Hard. He's the reason Josh showed me it when we were in Miami, his profile. The reason his profile stuck out to me is this guy is like, he's very entrepreneurial and had done a bunch of startups. He's our
Oh, damn.
age. He's from New Zealand and then moved to Sydney, which is very similar to me, very entrepreneurial, which is similar to me. And
Uh-huh.
he started posting, I think 18 months ago now, and he's grown his account to 300K followers, and he's built multiple seven-figure businesses around building Instagram page. Like, he is a entrepreneur startup guy first, and he like harnessed the power of social media. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, like that's super interesting because I think most people who are influencers and post online, they're just influencers. They don't care about business. They don't care about entrepreneurship. They don't care about
Yeah.
making money. This guy was the opposite. He like came from the startup entrepreneurship world, saw how powerful social media was, and then built like, and he even said on podcasts this things that I kind of say, that like social currency is probably the most um
Attention is the most valuable social currency.
yeah, valuable. Yeah, it's the most valuable currency in the world.
Yeah.
And he kept saying that, and I was like, it's so true. And anyway, he would like his account was what made me be like, I need to start building an account. And he followed
Yeah.
me and started messaging me and said, like, I'm following the journey and stuff, which is crazy, because he was like the inspiration for the account. So that's
To
cool.
to
Like
to be yeah, sorry.
like, bro, this is gonna sound, and even though it was part of the reason I started it, any girl that I would follow is an instant follow back, pretty much an instant DM. It's just like it's an insanely different experience having a few million views and tens of thousands of followers as opposed to having a small account because nothing is changed technically. It's literally just a follow account and getting a few likes. And it's like the way in which people communicate with you has changed completely. And I thought that would be the case, and it 100% is the case. If anything, it's even more the case than I thought, if that makes sense. But we both kind of knew this already.
So I have 2 points to add to it. So the first thing is that, to be fair, Gary Vee said this social media thing a decade ago. I still remember. I was like, I was like back there. I swore. Gary Vee was right on the social media. Another thing is that some people have the skill of gathering attention and garnering, collecting audiences or followers. However, monetizing, turning that into a business is completely another set of skills. Bro, why most influencers
Scream that from the rooftop. That is so true.
that's why most people need agency. They need MCN, right? They need to sign themselves managers to find them ad deals instead of just being the fucking boss themselves and hire people to find them sponsorships. That's how you and I will work. Yeah.
Yes, bro. So this is what I think, and is why Alfie Gets Hard's account was so interesting to me. Imagine a Venn diagram. There's people that are good at attention and social media is here, and then there's people who like are entrepreneurial and know how to monetize and get money.
Yeah.
And there's a tiny sliver of people that are in between those things. And if you can marry those two skills, which I think are the most valuable skills on earth, like the sky's the limit, bro. Like that's when you get your Luke Belmar, Iman Gadzi, like
Correct.
those type of figures. It's like they know how to get attention, but they also are great at monetizing it. And you can pull status, network, like Jordan Welch is a good example. Here's a big realization of this year. There's bigger prizes than money. Like, I don't think people actually want money. I think what you want is respect, attention, status, and freedom. Money is just a tool to get these other things.
Very true.
And a personal brand is one of the few business models that you can pull everything you want out of it if you do it correctly. Having said all that, the big caveat is it's so difficult to build it correctly. It's extremely difficult.
A bad case of this is, the live streamers on Twitch. You always hear them having contracts breaching, suing one another because their agency, their MCA is screwing them over, etc. That's a very good example of them not knowing how to monetize, not knowing any business side. They only know how to live stream and entertain their viewers, but they have no idea how to become profitable and make money.
Yeah. And yeah, and most people are happy with just like getting brand sponsorships and making a bit of money here and there because what they're actually after is attention. They didn't set out for it for money. I just think if you're entrepreneurial minded, social media is probably the fastest path to get there. And one of the most powerful tools regardless. Um, yeah, the other thing with streamers is let's say you're H3H3 who has now built his brand around like drama and talking about other people. Now to sustain your personal brand, that's what people expect from you. You need to do that all the time. So it's like you need to be extremely aware of what you're building your brand around. And are you going to still be doing it in 3 years? Are you going to be doing it in 5 years, in 10
Yeah.
years? That's why my thing is kind of around like doing hard things. And if I had to summarize what I'm building mine around, it's transformation. Couch to Iron Man is transformation. 75 hard is transformation. All the fitness stuff is transformation. All of my reels, underlying theme of them is going from like worse to better. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think in 3 years' time, I'll still be wanting to become a better person. If there's one through line of my life, it's like the evolution of like always trying to be better. So I hope I'm building my personal brand in the correct way. I don't know, but
Uh,
I think people don't even think about that.
Correct. Do you know Night Media? That's the agency manages Mr. Beast, Marquis Brownlee, all the biggest YouTubers.
Okay.
That's the manager. So on the opposite side, there are people just extremely good at negotiating deals, find advertisers, suiting sponsors, and those are the people that have that build MCS. For example, if someone is really talented at that, I would say, hey, you go reach out to Jamie to what's that guy? Alfie Gets Hard. Once you get a hold of like 50 Instagrammers with a collective of 10 million audiences, that's a huge negotiating power. You can use that to negotiate with diet, supplements, whatever fitness companies. So that's another skill set. If you're born with that, I would
True.
encourage you to go that route.
Imagine you could get like this would be impossible, but it would be like the dream scenario. You could find like 5 to 10 dudes who are good at social media, but they're also entrepreneurial minded, and you could all essentially what KSI and Logan have done with Prime or Chris Williamson has done with Newtonic. Imagine the power like 10 young guys that are entrepreneurial minded, but also know how to play social media, and they all put their weight behind like a consumable product.
Yeah,
Like
that's
instead of
that's
like
what. Uh-huh.
selling a sponsorship, like you own whatever you do, and then you're the distribution. That would
This is what Sideman is doing, no?
yeah, bro. It pretty much is what Simon does.
Like, if, just from a wild guess, how much Prime do you think Logan Paul owns?
I think he only owns 10%.
What I always thought it was like 10% as well, but I just googled KSI and Logan Paul each only has 20%. That means 60% goes to someone else, and someone else who's managing the entire distribution, talking to Walmart about the stocking, owns 60%.
I reckon that's fair enough, though. Like, imagine Logan and KSI being in charge of distribution and trying to do this and that, and like th- they just have no experience. I think it's good to keep people in what they're like specialized at.
Why not 40% each? 20% from the venture capital, whatever, raising. You're and you hire people to do the distribution for you. Don't you keep.
I mean, yeah, why I call it that role, but I think from what I understand about Prime is they got like literally the best beverage guys in the world on it, like they're gals. So, and they probably like I don't think it would have been as big a success as it is if they didn't hire the best of the best. And the best of the best isn't gonna accept a 20% cut. Bro, when are you
Sure.
gonna build your personal brand? When are you gonna start posting, bro?
I've still the problem with me is I have so much so much food on my plate. One thing I say yes to is no to 100 other things. I have decentralized exchanges, Web3 search engines. I use the Gram page for surrogacy and for personal brand. I I ju- I'm getting there, I hope.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Here's bro, I'll lay out my grand vision just so we can put a wrap on this.
Okay.
Do you know who Dan Coe is?
Of course.
Justin Welsh.
Of course. Those are OGs in marketing.
Yeah, OGs, bro, and they are what I think I want. Here's the big realization that I've had. I don't wanna be part of a billion-dollar company. I don't wanna be part of meetings. I don't wanna manage, like, 20 people. I don't wanna be in Zoom calls all day. I don't want any of that shit. I do not want that shit at all. What I want is if I had to lay out the ideal business, it would give me maximum freedom so I can do whatever I want. I only want to work a few hours a day so I can like if I want to work more, I can work more. If I want to go to the gym, if I want to
There you
meet up
go.
with friends, if I want to travel, if I want to go I want maximum freedom. I want it to be completely online so I don't have to be tied down to any one place. And I want it to be scalable in that I can realistically be doing 100K a month. That would be my perfect business as opposed to
Agree.
$1 billion managing 20 people, Zoom call, like that shit. I don't actually care about money. I just want the best lifestyle possible. And I think that kind of business gives me it. From everything I've been looking into, the people that have mastered this are Justin Welsh and Dan Coe. And here's
And
essentially their playbook.
I'll also add Huberman and Ryan Holiday. They all belong to the same tribe over there.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, so here's a playbook. You dominate essentially one social media, like you're posting on all of them, but like Justin Welsh is known for LinkedIn and Twitter. Dan Coe is really good at Instagram, but also YouTube. So you use your organic content. You essentially master social media on one platform. You funnel that into an email list, which you may have seen I'm already doing. And then you essentially give, and then they normally have one or two products that are funneled into, which is like low ticket course between 97 and 197 to like maximum $500, and it's normally an info product. Justin Welch's is like a LinkedIn course, and he teaches you how to sell a digital product. Enco's is a solopreneur thing, blah blah blah. Anyway, these guys are doing like, I know Justin Welch did 3.5 million last year or something like that. And Danco would be doing more. He also has a book. Danco is kind of like Peter Levels in that he has a book. He has like 7 different, like, he does all these tangents. It seems like he gets interested in something and then releases a product around it. But he makes money through that one thing. Anyway, that's the like,
I agree.
that's a grand vision that I want for my Instagram. If I could quit Crypto Nutshell, quit the YouTube faceless, and be doing 6-figure months entirely like funneling from content into what I think I would sell is like very advanced how to grow your personal brand Instagram or something like that. Because I know a lot of like in-depth like hacks or secrets, and I know how to talk people through the steps of getting over the fear of social judgment and actually posting content. Like I could do a very in-depth course and sell that for like $200 easily. So anyway, that's my vision right now. That's what I think. What do you?
Or become Ryan Johnston. I think Ryan Johnston is having the fuck ton of fun out of his social media. He's just having fun.
100% true. His post is so funny too.
Oh wait, let me stop the record. I was recording on my Bluetooth.
Your mic just got way better.
Yeah, because I was picking up the audio from this.
Yeah.
All right. So another insight I do have into the reels is that, are you aware of the mouse or the mice experiment? So basically, there are 2 contrasting groups. One is you give them a little
see
treat,
some
they
rubber
press
band?
the button.
Wait, is this where they put in water and then one is taken out and then it swims for like 4 times longer?
No, not the one I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
I'm not aware of the one, but tell me later. So one group, you give them a little treat, they press the button. You give them a little, or they press the button, you give them a little treat. The other one, you give in inconsistent rewards. I forgot you give the mice or the pigeon clicking the thing. Oh, once you stop giving them treats, as which group keeps pressing. The one with
logically you would say, logically you would say consistently, but well, yeah, why is the inconsistent one the one that keeps clicking?
Okay, so I'm going somewhere. Trust me. The journey is gonna be good. So So are you aware of that? In sex, men have orgasm every single time, but not women. Women have irregular, unsure, uncertain orgasms.
Wait, say that again. Women have
Irregular.
too.
Men always orgasm, right? But women, yes and no, maybe or not. It's irregular.
That's not my experience, bro. They're pretty consistent.
That's biology, bro-ish. Okay, big stud. But okay, I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because if you want to incentivize one sex to have a lot of more sex, what do? You give them irregular orgasm. That's how.
Why women don't want sex more than men?
Okay, that's another thing, but we'll get back to it later. But the let me offer out now. But the thing is, you need some sort of irregular rewards mechanism to incentivize your subjects to work harder for it, to work even if there's no reward for longer, more hard periods of time. Okay, so where does this apply to our daily lives? That is to the IG, the TikTok algorithms, how they incentivize the creators to create reels. So bear with me. There are 2 sides of the equation, right? So for us consumers, we want to watch. The platform want to give us as good quality as possible for the content, right? However, we never thought about the creators. How can you incentivize a creator?
I think I know where you're
Keep
going with
creating.
this, and I agree 100% if it's going where I think it's going.
So here you give them random boosts in viewers.
Virality? Dude,
You don't tell them. Okay,
Yeah.
not this row, not this, another. You make them keep guessing. Okay, this one went viral. I must have done something right. No, it's pure randomness.
Bro, that has been my experience. So Josh, you've seen Josh's personal Instagram that he's posting.
Yeah.
He's also done YouTube as well, and this is Bro, what you just highlight, you need to start posting, bro, because you already get everything. The the way I built Jamie Tree and all the different YouTube channels and now this Instagram, I've noticed this again and again and again is that like because the quality doesn't change, but if you show up every single day and you put in a reel, you put in a reel, you put in a reel,
Mhm.
for some reason it could be a complete dog shit reel. You don't know when it's gonna happen, but you need to keep showing up. You'll randomly get this huge viral hit and spike. And that's why you just need to upload every single day. It's like Instagram, dude. It's the yeah, 100% agree with what you just said, and it's impressive that you know that from a creator perspective, because like that has been 100% my experience, and I think people need to know that it's like the algorithm will throw you a bone if you're uploading quality. Like it'll randomly just give you a reel and like it'll go viral.
I'm sure at the early stage of TikTok, ByteDance algorithm, they tried, okay, let's give you exactly according to the quality of your reels. Or, okay, let's first give you a little viewership, virally, then gradually more. The first three uploads, you get crazy viewership. Then it slowly drops. Would they figure out at the end, okay, none of these other work because it has lower retention of creators. They stop fucking creating. And if I don't have good enough content, like who's gonna view my shit? Okay, here's the
Exactly,
best
bro.
argument. You give them uncertain. You make them figure it out. You get them addicted, like fucking gambling. You don't know the next one is gonna be super viral or done.
And and if people are listening to this and thinking, why would platforms do that? The content is the lifeblood of the platform. They need creators creating the best content. So they need them hooked on making content. So it would be entirely in the best interest to addict the creators to making content. So
Yes.
I'm gonna make that a module. If I release an Instagram course one day, that will be a module. It'll be like this. I don't know. I can't prove it, but this is how it works.
Yes.
And this is, and even if that's not how it works, which it is, that's a mindset you need to, that's a mindset you need to have to be successful at making content. Because you just need to know if I'm showing up, putting a rep in, putting a rep in, putting a rep in, something will hit eventually. And that is how you be successful.
Are you ready to go a Inception movie a layer deeper with me? So
Yeah,
people only talk
about
about how people only talk about how the algorithm gets the audiences, the viewers addicted. Now we're talking about how it gets the creators addicted. However, there's another player in this whole ecosystem that is the advertisers, right? I'm
yeah.
100% sure there's some sort of algorithm to get those advertisers addicted. It's a whole
I
nother game on its
It would
own.
make sense that, like, they get inconsistent results as well.
Yeah, for example, the placement of ads in between reels,
Yeah.
or you get an influencer to shout out your products, or like in China Douyin, you put a link at the description of your reel. There's a whole another game on its own that
Yeah, so
worth
true.
a
And
hundred
it'll
hours
be
of
in their
study.
best interest to do that as well. And bro, yeah, I that's a theory, and I don't know if you could prove it, but I 100% think that is correct.
I don't think ByteDance will ever release their algorithm because it's their lifeblood, right?
Yeah, true. Bro, let's go to I wanna hear about your road trip. I wanna know where you went,
Okay,
what
okay.
you did.
So I finished this road trip of 3,200 kilometers
Sweet.
in northwest of China. Yeah, it's pretty cool. My biggest takeaways are this, right? First of all, I thrive at high altitude. So there are about 3 nights I slept at the 3,000 kilometers altitude. So I sleep less for the same quality of rest. I usually sleep 9 hours, but those 3 nights I only sleep 6 hours plus a 20-hour nap in the car during the day. That's it.
And you felt fine?
Perfectly fine. It's like I'm stealing time. So I asked GPT and he says it's because your blood carries red cells faster or something like that. But just saying, it's a cheat code in life if you want like
Yeah.
3 hours extra time every day. And also, did you know that all the runners, best runners, they come to a certain region here in China. So if they're at the sea level, right, zero, they go to somewhere in those cities with 2,000 kilometers altitude to have training before the competition, just to train their blood
Yeah,
carries
get
out.
more red blood cells, and then when they go back down to sea level, they're like, "Oh, superhuman." Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're running with weighted weight on your legs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you immediately take them. So,
Um, were you on it for 2 weeks?
uh, about 10 days, and But the con is the high altitude places are very dry, right? And you can't really run because I'm out of breath after 10 steps.
Damn. And you're not
You
unfit.
just because the oxygen is so much thinner. Yeah.
So
Another
how
thing.
were you realistically doing it? Were you in a car? Did you hire a car? Did you do it with other people?
Yeah. So I hired a car. There's a 7-seat van. Yeah. There's a
You just
designated
drove all the
driver.
time?
Yeah. That's my second point. So the best friendship bonding experience is to go through tough times together. If you want true friendship, go through hardships together. That's why people in the army bond so fucking deeply.
True.
And so if you and me, well, we want something cooler to remember instead of just podcasts, I would say go on any adventure, right? I would say
Yeah.
one Hazan Loop is worth 20 episodes of podcast.
Oh, dude, more than that. It's like, bro, if we went through like Navy SEALs Hell Week, we'd probably be like bonded for life. Like,
Yeah.
because I think the level of suffering equates to like the level of bond. Like, shared experiences are only amplified by pain and suffering.
And I noticed
Yeah.
over there, the racism doesn't really exist. People don't care what color you are in the army because they're blood brothers.
Bro, so this is another point from Mark Manson. I really like Mark Manson. I've always loved his writing style, and I've even in Crypto Nutshell, like anything I write, I try and replicate it because it's very short, no fluff, direct. But it's also like it's like reading something a friend would write to you. It's like very casual and like conversational, and I adore that writing style. Subtle art of not giving a fuck. The like, if you could sum it up by one sentence, the way to not give a fuck is to have something bigger to give a fuck about. So the reason things like racism and all this stuff disappears in the army is because the pain and suffering is so much bigger than who gives a fuck about what color skin someone is, where they come from when you're under so much pain. It's like the pain is the thing that you actually focus on. So
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm sure those people who gone through the Hell Week in Navy SEAL training can call on the, hey brother, don't ask me why. I need you to show up at my door. We need to kill somebody. Don't ask me why. And I guarantee you, their entire squad will show up.
100%, 100%. And
So
it works in the
yeah,
opposite way. I've noticed this with my family. It's like, if you get too comfortable, you start caring about things that really don't fucking matter. Like if your life is too comfortable, you'll start caring like, oh, the wrong type of material sheet is on my bed. Like it's meant to be cotton, but it's some other shit. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like you need bigger things to care about, or like you'll
yeah.
just start caring about dumb shit.
So I think in the future, the retreats, the community meetups will still be highly relevant in person. Although 99% of other interactions you with new friends, strangers will be digitally, either via VR or the camera. So to sum it up, my point is money comes and goes. Experiences last forever.
True. And one other thing I didn't mention when I was talking about the dream business is it needs to be like AI can't take it, which is extremely hard to predict and think of because who knows, like AI is this massive like what if.
Hmm.
I agree with you. I don't think human experiences get taken away and like real life interaction. I think that only becomes more important and more as things get more
Yeah,
digital.
I agree. The retreats are way more important. People
Yeah. Yeah.
will be willing to pay so much more. That's why the Sam Parks Hampton community is gonna be so big. Is on an
Yeah.
upward trajectory. I like it. You can
Something
sell
else in
fucking
that Arjan loop,
everything.
bro. When
Uh-huh.
AI is more powerful and like all of like, bro, already online, everything's written by ChatGPT. Every tweet I read, every Instagram, like, if
Yes.
you use ChatGPT enough, the dead giveaway is a double hyphen. ChatGPT always uses a double hyphen, and no one like actually writes like that on social media, but now it's everywhere. And so I can recognize ChatGPT writing instantly, and it's literally everywhere. Everyone uses it. And as that gets worse and worse, I think people will give like something like a Harshan Loop is a perfect example. Like people would crave that more visceral, real human experience as opposed to this like online shit.
All right. I just said you too close. Do you mind read them to me?
Everything I learned in life, I learned because I decided to try something new. That's facts. Roy Lee, I've never taken a risk in my life that has not paid off. Fact. Before you expand on these,
Yeah.
the 5 regrets of the dying, I can't remember them. I can't list them off, but the one
Help
thing
me
they
out.
all had in common, they were things that they didn't do. It was never something they did do. You never regret the things that you do. It's
Yeah.
always things that you didn't do, the shot you didn't take. And I think that's always good to keep in mind.
Okay, and okay. So next point I have is that we learn and we evolve, right? We don't stuck in the same cocoon. If you don't think the last year's you or the last year's Jamie or Eugene is kind of stupid, that means you didn't grow at all. Merely 2 years ago, if you tell me I will stop using Google completely, right? I will just search using this thing called AI. I will laugh your ass off, bro. 2 years ago.
Yeah,
That's what.
100%. Yeah, dude, I look at oh, bro, we were in Bangkok this time last year. And if I just look at that version of myself compared to myself now, it's not that I'm ashamed of who I was, but I was just so directionless and lost. Like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm, mm. I can see that. I can see that. You're a different breed now.
Yeah, just more, and that has only come from trying new things and just continually learning.
Okay. And are we ready to move on to the next topic?
I kind of want to hear more about your road trip, but if you like, what was the best part? What was the worst part? Anything interesting happened?
Well,
10 days is a long time.
I I didn't really connect with the rest of the people, honestly.
I saw the circus kind of thing. It was like you're in a desert with like it was like a circus with flags coming down. I saw that video.
Oh, okay.
What was
Yeah, but
that?
anyway, I don't want to sound like a girl. Just that's Tibet, their religion. There's
That was
it's
a
like
religion?
yeah,
Oh, that was in
stuff
Tibet.
like that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, two
Yeah,
more questions.
I don't want to sound like a girl. Just repeating traveling stories that's irrelevant to nobody.
But I'm interested, bro. I'm interested.
You just have to be there, man.
Um, Other question, are you still planning on going to San Francisco to do a startup?
Well, I'm waiting for this offer, so I'm kinda fuck. I don't. Never mind. I'll tell you about it when it's set in dust. And so
Bro, you can't leave me like that. Give me some clues.
no, cool. Yeah,
Is it going to the US or you waiting on an offer to do something else?
I'm waiting for an offer to do something else. However, that they have been training me for a week, so I wouldn't know. So still to be decided. But for now, I'm relaxing in my hometown, visiting both of my grandmas. Anything happens here, or my dad is here, if I have dirty laundry, I just boop, on the grab, and they immediately disappear. And the second day, just they come folded, nice and clean.
I love those fairies. I love those fairies that do that. It only happens at our house.
Yeah. Have you seen the joke? The guy talks to his wife. I think it's crazy. Like every time I throw dirty laundry in the ground or the dirty dishes in the sink, they disappear. The magic.
And they magically appear the next day, washed and clean.
Mm.
Uh,
So do you know what's a brain rot?
yeah, yeah.
The bombardido crocodilo. The dong 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 sahur.
I don't
Okay.
even know what that is. I'm not that deep in a brain rot.
Okay, you don't need. Yeah. Well, okay. Then next thing, I guess.
Wait,
Okay,
where
what do
was
you
this
got?
brain rot thing going?
No, it's not that important.
Okay, I don't have anything like serious planned, but I wanted to. We briefly spoke about it earlier this week. I do want to start thinking about a 2025 trip if you're down, and maybe it's Vietnam again. I want to make that an annual thing.
I could technically I can fly to Vietnam next week because I'm done with the Chinese trip. Oh, hold on, let me grab my phone. I'm not sure if I should post a story about this, but I'm sure you know the map of China.
Bro, whenever you're not
All
about doing something,
It's basically all highlighted.
damn,
The
yeah,
entire
you
fucking
grew up
China.
China, bro. Damn.
See, this is China and all those yellow points. China is big.
I can't go next week. I'd need to very seriously think about what date I could do, because like it needs to. I'm training for a fucking ultra marathon, so the training
Yeah.
would have to be like front of mind.
Yeah.
Wait, July, August. July, I'm doing the ultra marathon. August, I'm doing so Sydney has the biggest fun run in the world,
Mm-hmm.
doing that, and then Ironman. Would have to probably be in between an Ironman.
Oh, did you get any news from the token 2049 in Dubai last week?
I know they invited us, but I'm kind of like edging myself out of crypto.
Oh,
Why?
yeah. I don't know. It's just they have a whole level of status game they play among themselves. The Chinese compete with the Chinese, the Arabs.
To
They
do what?
compete with each other. Who's cooler? Who's got more coins? Who's got higher returns? Who's built cooler structures? It's a whole game.
Gotcha.
The Warren Buffett is there. Someone wrote that the Warren Buffett's annual meeting is Coachella, but for people who can read financial statements. I'm sure they have a group on their own, and Token 2049 they have like a inner group on its own. Both are games I don't really want to play in.
Bro, crypto, like we've spoken on it before, but crypto is not the game I want to play. First off, the associations with it are really bad. Not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something different, but crypto in general is dominated by I don't know like sophisticated way to put this, but like pretty like scummy low life people. Like the influences in it are not lives that you would want to replicate at all. And if you look
True.
at all the biggest figures in the space, they've all like crashed out, got addicted to drugs, like and it just makes sense because
So true,
a
bro.
lot of the
I hear
early
it.
influences, it was like they got quick money that they didn't really have to work for. And then they live these like, I don't know,
I
they're
have
not
a
people you would wanna aspire to be.
I have a better way to think about this. Had you gone down this track of the fitness influencer, by the time you die, you say, "Hey, I, Jamie Curry, I have changed the lives of 100,000 people or 1 million people. I made them healthier, eat cleaner, exercise more. I made them live longer, a happier, more healthy family life, etc." However, your target audiences are those people who want to gamble on crypto and getting rich of it. It's
Exactly.
a
Well,
whole another persona. I will find it hard to claim that, oh, I made these people's lives better by telling them what happened in crypto. Bro, just buy Bitcoin and live on your life, bro. That's all you
exactly,
need to
bro.
know.
The only value to come out of, like, all of crypto can be summarized in one sentence, and that with the money that you don't need immediately, buy Bitcoin and don't touch it. Like, that's 99% of the value to come out of crypto
Yeah.
so far, and my
1%
perspective
effort,
does
99% of resort.
exactly.
Reward.
It's so simple. Like your life will be better off if you do that. But we don't need another like baby Michael Saylor like parroting all the things that he says. Michael Saylor will say that with more like he has all the achievements and accolades to back up his words. It doesn't need another person in the space to do that as well. And exactly as you said, if like let's my life paths could be tell people about random fucking altcoins and crypto and maybe they make some money, or I could advocate for people being fitter, doing hard things, transforming their lives. I think
Mhm.
like, just like from a life fulfillment and enjoyment and like moral, I don't want to get too spiritual, but I feel like your life will be objectively better if you dedicate it to the betterment of other people's life. There's some like innate fulfillment you get from that. And yeah, making people money isn't necessarily that.
Naval said that we live in an age of infinite leverage. And uh and what's the second? And judgment is the most important thing.
True. Bro, and another thing that Naval said was
Yeah.
on his latest podcast was, bro, do you know it? Chris Williamson asked him, if you had to tell someone how to get rich, what would be the one piece of advice?
Just be yourself, because nobody else is
Yes,
better at
productize
being you
yourself.
than you yourself.
Yes, because being
Be
yourself will
unapologetically yourself.
yeah, because no one will be you better. And if you can productize yourself, no one can be you better than you. If you build your personal brand around the things that you like and you get good at content and telling stories about yourself, no one can do that better than you. Like, it's such a clear
Think
home run.
about Ryan Holiday, right? He's been a fucking nerd about Stoicism, a Greek philosophy that's relevant 5,000 years ago. Then nobody really cared, but he popularized it. He taught millions of people what it means, and that's why if he sell rings, he sell cars, right? He sell membership, private communities. He blossom of it.
100%. But we've been doing this for a year now, almost, but it still
Mhm.
blows my mind at how similarly we think and view the world. Like, it's
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
with other friends, like there's a few commonalities, but like we always see the world through the same lens. I don't know if that's because we've watched so much of the same content or just like our personalities align to see the world in the same way, but it's like everything you say I've either thought of, but like you put it into words. It's just odd, bro. It's very odd.
Trust me, ever since I was a freshman in college, I've been trying to find someone to do a podcast with, and it's so fucking hard, bro. Either within the first 30 minutes, we run out of topics to talk about, nor I don't give a shit what they care about, nor
Yes,
we
and
just,
I don't need to give you a bunch of context about what I'm talking about because you already have the context because we both watch the same content without telling each other to watch the same content. It's just like, yeah.
yeah. I'm surprised we still haven't ran out of topics to talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you go and live your life and travel and have all these experiences, but then you can distill everything you learned because you're seeing it through the same lens that I would be. So it's like it doubles
Yeah.
the rate of learning because like I don't know if that makes sense.
Do
But
you know
like
Kevin Cowley?
no.
Oh, he's an author
Yeah,
that
just
basically
repeat what I just said.
so he's an author that basically can predicts made a lot of accurate predictions about the future. He was relevant since 30 years ago. In his 20s, he just basically traveled the world, see what it has to offer, and that's the philosophy I adapted more to.
Bro, I'm about to make this real. You might have seen it, but it's like a viral template. It goes, "In your 20s, you should," and then it goes, "Shut up, because I've been told you should go to Europe, backpack, make money, save money, blah, blah, blah." I'm gonna make a version of that, and I think the only 3 things that you should actually do in your 20s is Naval's 3 questions. You should all of your 20s should be, like, based around answering those 3 things, which is where you live, who you're with, and what you're working on. And the only way to answer those questions is to just experience as much as you can. So travel to as many countries as you can, meet as many people as you can, be in relationships with people. Like you just need to gather data in your 20s to best answer those questions. So in your 30s, you can like narrow the scope and then like go deep on those things that you found. Because yeah, if you waste your
Yep.
20s in like a 9 to 5 and you're not gaining all these experiences, I feel like you're like a decade behind. It's
So
better
back then, when I was
on
doing my finance job, I was debating whether I should quit. So basically asked myself, which is harder to substitute, right? Do I have the rest of my life to make money, which is an infinite game. I can keep playing to the day I die. However, I don't think I can travel as intensively anymore the day I pass my 20s. Nobody wants to be the creepy old guy in the hostels at 35. Nobody.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bro, that's the problem. I think the tragedy is like I'm sure you see it with like friends from college and friends from high school. Everyone has this realization too late. And like
Hmm.
they'll get burnt out after 5 to 10 years in their corporate job and they'll be like, fuck it, I'm traveling the world. But now they're 30, 31, 35, 40. And it's like, you should have answered this in your 20s because your 30s and 40s, like, that's when you go deep on these things. And it's like we both traveled a lot, and for some reason, I fucking love Naihan and Rawai, and now I have like a blueprint of the type of places that I love the most and operate the best in. But if I hadn't tried living in all these different places, I would still and like I was in a corporate job and then quit in my 30s. You then have to spend your 30s discovering like what place you operate best in. You probably have a much better blueprint of the type of places you like versus the type of place
Yeah.
you don't like. Traveling, you meet a ton of people, so it's like, you know what personalities to look out for, you probably date a lot of girls, so you know, like, I get yeah. Experimentation is, like, the key of your 20s.
I remember there's this lecture setup. I forgot who the lecturer is, but let's say he's Jordan Peterson, right? The a student asked him, "Hey, I'm doing this business. It's gonna go $100 million valuation, but my girlfriend is complaining, bitching about it, and she really want me to allocate more time to her. So I'm really debating, hesitating. What should I do?" And the Jordan Peterson basically just said, "Hey, it's easy. Just think about." Is it harder to replace $100 million business or replace a girlfriend?
No,
Boom.
bro, here's where it gets freaky because 'cause we've just watched all the same content. It wasn't Jordan Peterson, it was Kevin, what's his name? The Shark Tank guy.
I don't remember.
Fuck, what's the name? Kevin Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary. It was Kevin O'Leary that said
Oh, Mr. Wonderful, is it?
yeah, Mr. Wonderful, it wasn't Jordan Peterson, yeah. I know the
Yeah.
exact clip you're talking about. But it's true, bro. It's true.
Is that him? I think he's parodying off some other guy.
No, it's definitely original Kevin O'Leary. I know for I
Okay.
went deep on Kevin O'Leary. He used to be big in crypto, so I know
I love
about
the guy.
Kevin O'Leary.
He's a character, he
I think he's so
intentionally
funny, bro.
make third person view of him wearing pajamas when giving formal interviews, and that's
Yeah,
funny.
it is. It is, and he's so
And
like authentically him.
I remember this on this TV television, and people ask, "Hey, are you worried about your balding?" No, I love being myself. Why would I change that? It is me. Wow.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Oh, bro. I need you to start your personal brand because I'm telling you, you're such a unique person. You have so many unique stories and experiences, and it will take time to like get good at social media and like get better at storytelling and all this stuff. But it will be the most worthwhile thing that you do because you can pull like anything you want, money, status, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I want you to start it, man.
So I made over 100. Those critical thinking was. I just need to repackage them and upload to IG. So that's like instant reward. Just
When you
click the
have a bit
order.
of space and like bandwidth, just be like, all right, I'm starting today. I'm going to post one thing every single day on Instagram. And if you don't want to nuke your current Instagram, make a new one. Like make one with 0 followers.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so
a,
I don't know
there's a
that.
few things about making a new Instagram, but one of them is like you don't have to nuke your personal Instagram.
Yeah, you might read them to me.
Nietzsche's famous quote: "Look at your habits. Are they the product of innumerable little cowardices and laziness, or of your courage and inventive reason?" Or I'm thinking about my I've been on 75 hard for nearly 150 days now. So my habits
That's
are
the letter. That's the letter.
yeah. There's no room in my day for like retarded shit. Yeah.
Okay, so you wanna switch the gears, and okay, here's another insight I have. So startup advice used to be find a technical co-founder. Now it's find a distribution edge. Marketing is more important than product because with AI, you can clone the prototype of any big website, Booking, Airbnb, LinkedIn within a day. Thoughts?
Dude, yes. This is the shit I've been thinking about, bro. And no one else is thinking of this stuff. I maybe we spoke about it on last podcast, but Chamath said it in a All In podcast. He said the biggest difference between first time founders and second time founders, like,
Oh yes.
is first
First
time
time focus
founders
on the
focus
product,
on
second time focus on the distribution.
distribution. Yeah. And it's so true. And that is how I'm approaching Instagram and the personal brand. It's like I want to curate the audience, and then once it's big enough, I'll work out the product later. I don't know what it is yet, but I know the harder thing to actually do is the distribution and the marketing. Um, and then you can just ask people what they want, and you can keep trying things. If the audience doesn't like something, you can try again, try some new other thing.
Yeah,
So
MVP.
yeah.
Okay, so I recently dove in this rabbit hole of the Stake.com co-founders. You want to hear their story? I'll give you the 30
Uh,
second one.
I know the Australian guy. I know quite a bit about him. He's a fucking baller.
So Craven and the Terani met via RuneScape. They basically built a gambling side bet website for the game RuneScape. That's where they met. That's where they built their first online gambling ish stuff. Then they launched Stake.com, which I have no idea how they pull through the licensing, the legitimization. I'm sure there's corruption, a little money funneling into the government. And then in 2022, which banned gambling streams. So this prompts Crave and the Terani to launch Kick. And so now the edge of the Kick is they take only 5% instead of 50% like Twitch. Now their net worth are like 3 billions each. Very cool fucking story.
Do you know if in your research if Kick makes money?
I don't think so. No, definitely not.
So do they just channel the profits from Stake into Kick, and Kick is like the marketing for Stake?
It is what everybody claims, but on the podcast of interviewing one of the co-founders, he said no, none. They're not that affiliated, but nobody believes them.
Yeah, why else would they? Bro, they made a shitload of money, like a fucking shitload of money, and they're our age. It is our age.
Yeah, it made me feel useless, bro.
Yeah, but dude, money isn't the goal, man. I think and Parag used to talk about it on My First Million. I don't think you'd want to be a billionaire, man.
Very true.
Like, it sounds cool, but the lifestyle you would have to go through to get there, I don't think
Most people are chasing the wrong goals. I already like envision, meditate, the future about this already. The day I finished traveling all the countries in the world, I'm gonna go into a half-year depression. I guarantee you that because it's like the goal I spent all my 20s pursuing. Okay, no, I'm finished. I need to immediately find something else to chase like a dog.
there's many more things to chase, bro. There's always a game to
Yeah,
play.
I agree. I agree.
How many more countries do you have?
I want to hit 100 by age of 30,
How many do you have left?
40. But I saved a lot, most of the Caribbean islands. Those are speed running ones. I saved them for last in case I run out of time. So China,
Yeah.
I've spent cumulatively over a year traveling now. I still have like 3 months worth of traveling left, which I'm not gonna do this trip anymore.
So you're done with China now.
No, 3 more months worth of traveling time.
But if you say you might not do it, yeah.
Huh?
Wait, so you are going to continue to do China for 3
But
months?
not this time, not this year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So where are you going soon, or you haven't planned anything?
I'm waiting for the response. I guess.
Interesting.
I got people pulling me left and right. Hey, there's people doing private jet chartering in Guangzhou, China, and he invited me a couple of times already to go down there to check out.
Yeah. Bro, it's weird you bring up private jet. You know where I'm staying. I'm in Calypso Garden.
Yeah, the same apartment, right? You moved
Yeah.
back.
So the gym I was working out in, this happened maybe a month ago. I was like work out there in the morning, and then like 40-year-old guy was working out in there, but he had a hat on. What's the private jet brand? It's like the most famous one. Gulfstream, I think. Gulfstream. I had a Gulfstream hat on, and I was like, that's weird. Like, who would wear a Gulfstream hat?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got speaking to him, and he eventually find out he's this English guy, new dad, and he lives in Dubai, and he was the like head of sales of Gulfstream in Dubai, and yeah, just the stories he was telling me, like the people he was selling Gulfstreams to, and the people he'd met.
Yes.
He said so not too many celebrities, but like royalty of Dubai and like royalty of places, like high level people. Anyway, I got his contact details, but he was a super interesting guy. That would be cool. What else?
Love to chat with him. I would love
Yeah.
to chat with him. Yeah. I just figured, like, if I don't know what I'm gonna dedicate the next 10 years of my life to. Might as well just hang out with extremely wealthy people and do what Hormozy said there. Sell to rich people. They pay better.
Yeah, yeah. What? Not. I was gonna say, what do you want to do? But I guess you don't know. You've always been interested in surrogacy.
Yeah. And I think private jet, the people, by the way, all those four sports, badminton, tennis, one handball, and ping pong, like I've all hit that the stage of like the exponential growth is over. The more that time I dedicate to that, I feel like it's a waste of time. I'm surrounded with the wrong people, playing the wrong game. That's why I don't want to make a drastic change to my life.
Dude, that's so true. Whenever you take up something new, so I found it with lifting. After like 2 years of lifting, like you get exponentially better, stronger. And then you get to a point where it's like you need to put in 80% more effort to make like marginal gains on your strength.
That's
And I feel like
fucking true, man.
And it's like, you have to put in way more effort to make tiny improvements, and it's like, "This fucking sucks, and I don't wanna do this anymore." And
Same.
I think that's why I'm addicted to running now, is because I'm on that beginner, like, exponential curve where it's like, I'm getting so much faster so quick, and I don't wanna hit that point where it's like, "Oh, no, like, now I need to put in a fuckload of work to get a little bit better." And, yeah, maybe the key to life is just keep switching different hobbies and things,
Yeah.
and you can enjoy that exponential thing, and then you never go back down. You're always, like, intermediately good. Like, you could stop playing table tennis for 3 years and then pick up a racket and be better than 80-90% of people still, you know?
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to talk about next? I got a couple of different routes we can go down to.
Anything, bro, anything.
You wanna? So here I'm in China. Do you want to talk about girls a little?
Yeah, okay.
So in China, uh, the law is extremely unfair towards males. Are you aware of that?
No, why?
So because let's say a couple get married, right? The girl cheats on the guy with a black dude and have a baby. And when they divorce, the girl takes half of the guy's net worth. And another case is any false accusation was never punished, and but the guy's life is always ruined. If a girl says that guy rapes him, the only evidence the police needs is the girl's oral statement with the zero evidence. Even if there's
I'll put him in
camera,
jail.
the voice recording, the guy always gets jail time. That's how bad it is. And you know how bad the dating market is in USA. China is a lot worse. There's this concept this kind of sound fucking crazy and foreign to you, and which is it is. It's called 彩礼. It's basically a gift that men need to give to the women upon marriage. It starts from 50K USD, which is a lot of money for any Chinese male. Yes, you have to know that we have way more male than females, and whenever there's a market imbalance in terms of supply and demand, the money always comes into play to equalize the exchange, and that's what it is. Imagine you marry a girl, she demands 50K from you. That's not the roof, right? That's the secondary, tertiary city. Any big cities is double, triple that amount.
Do you think you'll ever get married?
Fuck no, not under this.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'll ever get married, which is kind of sad because I feel like a piece of you, the like romantic inside of you, wishes that it wasn't like that.
There's this guy that's the most recent. I don't really care about this yet. I'm still made aware of it. He's been in prison for 3 years, right? Basically, he gave the girl 彩礼, the gift money already, a lot of money, and she regretted because she demanded more. I want more money. I want you to put my name in the property. I want you put the car ownership under my name. He basically rejected, and she threatened to sue him for rape, and she threatened, and the police arrested him like that. There's there in China, it's guilty until proven guilty.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Still for
And the
oh,
most
fuck.
fucking crazy thing is they never had sex, right? Because the basically the hospital tested the girl still has a fucking hymen, and there's no G's and body fluid mixture anywhere inside of her entire clothes. So basically, she just made the false accusation, and the guy's been in jail for 3 years already
Is he,
because the huh.
is he still in prison?
Yeah, he is still because how complicated the judge the court thinks it is, and refuse to keeps pushing back the court date, and the guy cannot bail himself out anyhow. Yeah, he's fucked, bro.
China doesn't sound great for dating, bro.
Yeah, but you're a foreigner, I guess it's fine. I know USA, there's tons of those cases. You know, the girl called the guy rape, and the guy because she needs attention, and they got a guy sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Yeah, bro. A weird thing that has happened to me this year, and I don't know if you're on the same wave or a different wave. I have reduced the priority level of sex, girls, relationship, like not to zero, but like it is a much lower priority than it has ever, like maybe not priority, but like the interest level of it has like really lowered in my mind. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just so much more interested in other things that I don't know if that's getting older. Maybe my testosterone is lower. Are you still like, do you think you're as interested in girls as you were 3 years ago or 2 years ago? Or like have we lowering of
I think my sex drive has been declining. I'm 27 now. I'm nowhere as horny as I was in my early 20s. It's sad
it?
truth, bro.
And like you think about it a lot less and like
That's
prioritize.
fucking true, bro. Yeah.
It's like, and I feel like it makes you put up with less bullshit. Like if you don't like a girl quite a lot, you won't put in effort or like you just put up with less bullshit because you don't care about it as much.
Have I told you this case of female hypergamy of renting a Lamborghini or Ferrari? So let's say me, Yuji, I rent a Lamborghini. I rent a red Ferrari for a week. I fuck 10 girls. So basically, those 10 girls have 3 best friends, and they think, oh, my bestie has a boyfriend with a Ferrari, and she's not even as pretty as me. I deserve better. So basically, I created over 100 women that'll never settle for a Porsche or a Mercedes Benz ever in their lives.
Here's my new 2025 take on red pill, and I still
Okay.
do believe it has fundamental truths, and there is an element of truth to what you just said. But I also
Yeah.
think that there are subsects of girls that really don't give a fuck. And I know that because my sisters, and if I look at like my extended family of the girls, like this isn't me being delusional. I know for a fact they do not give a shit about that kind of thing. And I know a lot of girls do, and there are elements of truth to that. And it's only human to compare. But I think, like, do you know Hamza, the self-improvement YouTuber?
Of course. He's been dying off. What happened to him lately? I haven't heard of him
Bro,
for
look at his
what?
Twitter. He's gone like crazy red pill. Like super toxic red pill. And it's like, I don't think that way of thinking
Worse than tape?
kind of look at the stuff he's been tweeting, bro. Um, it's like, I don't think it's beneficial for you, and I don't think it's beneficial to be putting that out there, even if there are elements of truth to it, which there are. Like, if you go full red pill and you like,
No.
I think there
He-
are
He's
some
Twitter got shitty engagement as well. He just fallen in love, bro.
I know.
Tell me.
Like, if you genuinely think, like the nastiest red pill truths, and you think that covers all of girls, I think you put off the like few girls that don't care about those things, and you put off the. I know there's the saying in red pill, not all women are like that, and all women are like that, but it's like I don't know if that is true. I feel like there are some gems that do not care or haven't been poisoned by the world. Thoughts on that? Disagree?
Mormon? Christian?
Mormon girls. Nah, just like I know girls who do not give a fuck if someone has a Ferrari.
Someone who is some girl who's milking cows in the village of Moldova.
Bro, you know for a fact that there's some girls that could not care less if you have $1 million and a Ferrari. Like, they do not care.
Yeah. But it's the
And
status game every boy in Dubai, in Miami, in California, and competing over with. In UK as well, I guess.
it's true, but yeah, it's tricky. Now that I have a big Instagram, I think it's funny if, like, let's say I message a girl with like 2,000, 3,000 followers, they're probably more excited about an account with 40,000 followers than like, I don't know, like someone they know that has a few hundred. Like, I think I find it weird that I'm just messaging random chicks around the world. I don't, bro, I don't know where I'm going with this.
I well, I'll go off the route with you. Most pictures on IG are fucking fake. 80% of them are fake, fake, fake. I've been catfished so many times in my life. Even a video call wouldn't justify their ugliness.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is we're not going anywhere with that.
We just talked ourselves into a dead end with that one.
Okay, I got some quick ones. So in China, you know the DeepSeek, the AI team, right? The government officials took away all their passports already because they're considered very important for the country and they're not allowed to lead.
Damn,
It's
that's kind of
and so in the future, reading all the messages like you do on social media is a fucking chore. So we desperately need AI to sort it out. You talk every morning, hey, anyone of importance message me today. Find me a girl to hang out today who's available at 6. And the AI will automatically reach out to the other person.
bro. They need AI dating like immediately. You need
Same.
ChatGPT needs to know your personality traits, your preferences, and then I wish ChatGPT could go into Tinder and or Hinge or whatever the hell, and also match with other people with similar personality traits, similar values, blah blah blah, and then be like, this person's very aligned, very similar personality. Also for friendship, that'd be cool as well.
Yeah, for friendship.
Like this person has a very similar personality to you. They live 5 kilometers away. Like you should link up with them. You both enjoy running.
Or Axe. I will say Axe is the best place, right? Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, you guys follow the same person. You make the same thought brain dump tweets. You guys are gonna love each other. You should go grab a beer.
here's who's gonna win the AI stuff is like imagine you could link all of your social medias to ChatGPT, can read all of your history, knows the people you follow, knows the things you engage with, like it knows your personality to a T, and then there's supplementary services off of that, like finding a partner, finding a friendship, finding and then it can make recommendations based personally off you. Like, you'll love this restaurant. You've never been to it. It's only 2 kilometers away. Like stuff like that.
And I think there's gonna be only one Jarvis, the interacting portal, a chatting or a chatting person on your phone. You don't have to open X, open LinkedIn, open IG every single day, different platforms, all together in one. You just talk to this talking person. Hey,
True.
hey, hey, tell me about this work, sir. It's your
And bro, I know you use like Gemini and a bunch of different LLMs. The reason I don't use other ones is because I have such a deep history with ChatGPT. I don't need to explain the context anymore. And I think that is
so
the
true.
goal they're trying to make. Like
Have you
context
noticed that
history.
ChatGPT is not forgetting anymore? Or is it just me?
Bro, and it's not glazing as much anymore. Have you noticed that?
What is glazing?
Like it used to be like, what a crazy insight. That's like, you're so intelligent. Like, that's incredibly smart. And they toned that down. And I noticed that.
Huh.
You didn't notice that?
Oh, I haven't. The only
Sam
thing I noticed is
tweeted about it.
they give her like now I ask you something, he always asks me another question at the end. Would you like me to give further information or give an example?
That's just good conversational like skills.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I should for this next topic. I need to stop recording.
What?
All right. So this whole podcast, basically, I think I'll see you again next month, and this is my therapy. I don't need a therapist or a shrink. You are my therapist, bro. I really
So
enjoy
true,
talking with
bro.
you.
So true. Same. Ditto.
Oh,
Ditto.
uh, and you are right about a cringe thing because Naval said, again, him, you get paid for being right first. And to be first, you cannot wait for consensus, bro.
Damn, dude, that's a good way of looking at cringe. Cringe is anti-consensus.
You saw the reel I sent you, right? The kid, they know they're dancing like this, very cringy, but
They make
he
it
said the
more
money being thrown at them. Bro, I wish I was in their position. You have to be there in their circle to notice that. And the forma, like whatever house.
400K. Yeah, 100%.
My
That's like a monkey.
Yeah, that's like no work every day.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
And you get fame.
I would argue that's not the fame you want, but yeah.
Hey, get you somewhere. You leverage that into something more ambitious. It's up to you how to play the card. You know the Vine stars, how many of them fall off and how many of them successfully transition into YouTubers, right?
That's
Depends how you leverage that.
true.
All right, what do you got for the rest of your day?
I'm about to order a bunch of food. I burn a lot of calories doing that run, and then I gotta go work out again. I'm doing 75 hard round 2. Only 10 people left in my group, bro.
Oh, wow. That's not a surprise.
People. Here's why it's surprising. I thought would be people you finish because they personally reached out to me. We on for Instagram that great messages. I got their WhatsApp, but we went out again. So I was like, you're pretty committed to get all of this. We'll get in the group and then quitting the first 3 weeks. Like the average person, dude.
By the way, you want to say hi to my dad? He's been very, ba, I'm gonna go home out.
What's his name?
It's Chinese words, but he doesn't. He's not very educated, so he doesn't speak a word of English in whole life.
Okay. Ni hao. Nice to meet you, Eugene said. Bro, I see the resemblance. That's what you think will go Lego.
My bottom half of my face looks at my dad. My upper half of my eyes looks at my mom. You see.
Yeah.
Hello. That's the only word he does.
I see, yeah, where you get your models from.
All right, bro. I love you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time, bro.
I'm glad to have an hour of future billionaires time. 나도 봐요.
We don't want to be billionaires.
Huh?
We don't want to be billionaires.
Well, if the opportunity presents itself,
True. Bro, I enjoy it.
let me see your abs. Let me see your abs.
Bro, my abs are not.
I'm joking.
I'm bento. Love you.
That's the point. All right, love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Peace.